Hey, this is Ron. Welcome to my shop. You know, sometimes you make something and people just don't want to buy it. So, you can change it, you can modify it, you can do what you want. It's just going to go on the shelf along with a lot of other stuff that nobody wants. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, what I did is I got this square bowl right here, and you know, it's not very big. It's like you throw your keys in it or something like that, but with a little bit of time on the drill press, I just put a 1.5 inch depression and turned it into a tea light candle holder. Now it does something besides just want to collect keys or change or something. And this is green, and I use this Artisan premium coloring dyes. It's alcohol based, and it comes from Craft Supplies USA. So I got a green one. It's Christmassy time, and I got a red one. It's also modified into a tea light holder. And then this little bowler is made out of European yew, and it's got a hole inside of it, and it's got little features on the edge here, gnarly little bark spot right here, but I turned it into a tea light holder as well. Now it does something. So we'll see how it goes. They look cool whenever this little candle is burning, and people like candles. It makes their house smell good. But today I got a piece of cypress. Now this is just an old board I found, and I got it on the lathe, and it's about 2 inches, 2.25 thick, and it's about 8 inches in diameter, and I'll show it to you in a second. But it's just gonna be a bowl. Cypress is okay looking wood. It's soft. It wants to tear on you, so your tools has to be really sharp. And so I'm just going to turn it into some kind of bowl, and I'll probably play with it a little bit and see what else I can do to it to make it look better. So stick with me and we'll turn a piece of cypress. And welcome to Ron's wood turning shop. Okay, so here it is, and basically it was a board, and then I cut it, and then I put it on my circle jig, and then I found the center and put it on the face plate. It's 2 1/8 and about 8. Probably end up around 7.5 when I get done, and probably about, I don't know, 1 3/4, 1 7/8 deep. And it, like I said, it's soft. You'll see when I'm turning it. Your tools have to be really sharp or you'll get a lot of tear out. Now, even though I'm using carbide, when you get to this end grain here, it's going to tear out. So I'm going to have to take a bowl gouge and come at it from this side and get that out. But I'm just going to rough it out. So on each side, you're going to have the tear out. The sides, they get pretty smooth, but you can't hardly sand that out. So I'll have to cut it with my bowl gouge. And I basically want a, not a regular bowl, I want it kind of in and then out, kind of a wave to it. And then I'm going to put a tenon on the bottom right here. And then finish it off by putting it in my Longworth. So I'm going to switch to, well, I'm going to take a little bit more off with this, and then I'll switch to my bowl gouge and start cutting that end grain instead of tearing it. Alright, so I got out 99.9% of the tear outs except for right here at the top edge, so I'll hit that again. And the same thing over here, but the bottom half is sandable, and I'll clean that up. And but that's a very sharp 1/2 inch bowl gouge. So let me clean that up and we'll get back at it. Now that's about as smooth as I've ever been able to get Cypress. It's kind of tiny bit of rubby stuff here, but nothing I can't sand out. Everything else is just smooth. And I think it's going to come out just fine. Now I'm going to do a lot of sanding here because we got some tiny itty bitty tool marks, but I'll get all that out and I'll flip it around and we'll do the inside. The inside's going to be a little tougher because the walls, the way they are, but you can do it. It's no big deal, just have a very sharp tool. Alright, I zoomed in a little bit because I wanted to show you. This is sanded to 320 and that's smooth. I mean smooth. And now I'm just going to get a little Yorkshire grit, do that treatment on it, and then I'll flip it around. Alright, I got it flipped around and I'm going to drill it. I got my drill bit marked on how deep to go. I'll probably run it about 600. I'm going to suck this in. Alright, same thing with the inside. I'm going to start out with a super sharp tool and work my way to the outside edge. I haven't figured out what kind of embellishments I'm going to do to it yet, but I'm sure something will come to me. Hell, I might just leave it like it is. But we're going to play with it. And by the way, this is a cheap old tool. It's a Savannah. And it says high speed steel, but and I gotta sharpen it a lot, but it does get sharp. Don't stay that way very long, but it does get sharp. But it's 1/2 inch, and I kind of like using a 1/2 inch on something this size instead of my big 5/8. So anyway, well, let's go. see a triple buttload of tool marks in there. Well, I just roughed it out. Now I'm going to go back and refine it and do a lot of scraping and sanding. I got this edge right here like I wanted. This is like I wanted. This right here I need to work on. And the bottom's as thin as I want to get it. It's pretty making noise. So we'll keep going. Well, pretty much now all I got to do is sand it. Put some finish on it and call it good. And I'll flip it around, put it in my long worth, cut the back off of it. Let me get it over here where you can see it. There we go. Anyway, I'll flip around, put it in my long worth, and cut the back off of it. So just a lot of sanding right now. Alright, so I got a coat of sanding sealer on there. And it's looking pretty good. I'm just going to shine it up and call it good. Okay, so that's Cypress. And it's got grain in it. It's not gnarly, but it's grain. And it's not hard to turn. You just got to have really, really sharp tools. And I'll cut it off, cut the back off on my long work chuck. But basically, I just wanted to show y'all can cut cypress or other soft type woods if you got a really sharp tool. All right, so glad y'all could join me. Ron's wood turning shop. It pretty good. I mean, it's cypress. There's not a lot to it. Now, I am going to get to turn some sinker cypress in maybe a week or so. It's totally different. This will tear out like crazy, whereas sinker cypress, I don't know, it just holds together better. And it's probably going to smell like the river. But I'm glad y'all stuck with me. And like and subscribe. And y'all have a great day.